Another question deals with redistricting. So, we just had the decennial census. It was in 2020, and the Census Bureau hasn't yet sent out the data on what the census produced, but it looks like they're going to do that sometime, maybe as late as September, which is really late. Once the data becomes available, then the legislature will have to engage in redistricting. Whether it's the state legislature, House and Senate, the Supreme Court, the congressional districts, public service commission districts, all of that stuff. And this question has to do with congressional districts. We have 6 in Louisiana. It appears we're going to keep 6. We won't lose one, and we're not going to gain one. But if a third of the voters are minority voters, then you would think that if you've got 6 districts, you ought to have 2 that are minority districts. Certainly, that would be a great outcome. And it's essential that we have fair maps where voters get to choose their representatives rather than the representatives getting to choose who the voters are. So I'm 100% for that. The question is, will you veto or approve a congressional map that does not include a second minority district? Well, I have to see what the bill looks like when it comes to my desk and see how many minorities are in each of the 6 districts that are out there, and so forth, and then look and see what sort of an effort was made, and if it was made to either pack certain districts like the current 2nd district in order to avoid creating a second minority district, or whether rather than packing, they wanted to dilute all of the minority voters out there. I will tell you, it's a real challenge now because the U.S. Supreme Court has basically gotten rid of Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act. It's one of the things that the current Democrats in Congress, both House and Senate, and the Biden administration want to reenact. They're trying to figure out how to get it done in light of the 60-vote threshold that you have to overcome a filibuster or cloture, as they call it, in the Senate. But it's going to be a real challenge. But I am working with members of the legislature now to try to make sure that we have fair maps. I hope we can do that with the 2nd district. I just think that we need to have more competitive districts for sure, and certainly if there's a way to draw a 2nd district that has a majority of minority voters, I am 100% in support of doing that. I don't typically issue veto threats before I actually see the bill and look at the votes and see what percentage of the people in the legislature voted for something. Because if I have to have at least a third plus one in the House and the Senate to sustain a veto, if I don't have that many votes, then the veto doesn't mean much. But I don't issue veto threats in advance. But I can tell you, we're going to, not just in the congressional districts, but in the House and in the Senate, we're going to be looking to make sure that we have much fairer districts than we currently have. And quite frankly, one of the only ways to get there may be a veto threat, because if they don't feel like I'll veto a bill, then they may not have reason to be fair.